Hello, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 115 of The Best Plus Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is, it's a sin, I'm on a roll, and no, at Yeast, I rise to the occasion. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think they would help. With that being said, here's our list of things to do today. First, of course, we're going to do our daily affirmations, and we're going to have our dog knock that off. And then, stop. We're taking notes. Quit! We're taking notes. He's attacking my apron right now. And then, of course, if you didn't get from that, we're making cinnamon rolls. But the part is, no, at Yeast, which means we're not using yeast. So, fingers crossed, I can use the flour that I normally use and get it to work. So, I'm going to read you the recipe in a few minutes, but, oh, I got everything trapped in here. I am going to read, if I can get everything out, our daily affirmations. I have so much going on over here in the corner. I'm trying to change my tactics about how I record or where I record from, and it hasn't been working. But I got my new planner for this year, and it's called I Am Worthy of a Great Year. From my mouth to God's ears, right? Okay. And glasses would help. Well, it starts out with, I look forward to holding your big plans, important dates, and me time. This is totally your year, and your agenda is ready to cheer you on. Show this year who's boss. It has all kinds of words of encouragement with lots of stickers. Okay, so what we're starting with is Friday the 5th. And on that top of that page is a winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Nelson Mandela. So for the 5th, my skills and talents are recognized and rewarded. The 6th, I am in charge of my personal happiness. The 7th, I'm looking forward to a productive tomorrow. For the 8th, the people judging me are the ones most afraid of being judged. For the 9th, I'm excited about the new paths and possibilities that change offers. For the 10th, my mind and body work in perfect harmony. And for the 11th, today, I recover quickly and come back stronger. And at the top of the next page is life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. All right, so we're going to get that out of our way. We can put that over there. And then, okay, so we'll go over the recipe next. And then I'm going to talk about taking notes and what that means as soon as I can clear a path for all my stuff. All right, so here's the recipe. They're called quick, no yeast cinnamon rolls. I'm trying to make it so it's not crooked or off camera. Okay, so the dough is 2 cups flour, a 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, which I think I put like 1/8 of a teaspoon if that helps, 1 cup Greek yogurt, and a 1/3 cup melted butter. And then the filling is a 1/4 cup soft butter, a 1/4 cup brown sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons cinnamon. And then the icing is a 1/2 cup Greek yogurt and a 1/4 cup powdered sugar, and I believe I'm going to add some vanilla. Then preheat to 350, which I did, and I greased my 8x8 baking pan. Before making dough, prepare filling, cut butter in small cubes, and place in microwave. I didn't have to do this part. She's saying if your butter is not softened already, that this is a way you can go about it. Cut it in cubes and place it in the microwave for 30 seconds, stopping every 10 seconds to stir. This should get you a very soft butter that hasn't melted, which I think I'm going to kind of do. I'm going to put it in the microwave. It's already been softened for over a day, but I think what I'll do is put it in the microwave for the 10 seconds. Okay, and then you're going to set that aside. And in a small bowl, you're going to mix the brown sugar and cinnamon and set that aside. And then for the dough, you melt the butter and allow to cool. Ooh, crap, let me do that while I'm standing here. Hold on, guys. Okay, so, sorry about that. I forgot it said to allow it to cool. And then place all dry ingredients in a large bowl. Flour, sugar, baking powder, and baking soda and salt. Stir to mix. Add yogurt and melted butter using a stiff spatula. Mix. My pen marker was running out. Mix ingredients until dough starts to come together, and then transfer onto lightly floured surface. And I'll get that ready in a little bit. And knead for a few seconds to make all ingredients completely mixed. Then roll dough in large rectangle, but don't roll too thin or it will crack because there is no yeast. Patch with fingers any cracks, and then spread butter over dough. Then sprinkle with cinnamon sugar mix. Roll dough on longest side, and then gently cut into 9 large pieces or 12 small ones with bread knife, she says. Then place rolls in pan, leaving space between them to rise. Bake 20 to 25 minutes, leave to cool completely, and then before adding icing. And then the icing is mix the ingredients and then pour over the rolls. Okay? So that is what we're dealing with right now. Okay, if I can get to my stuff. Alright, I tried a different angle of filming, and while I thought I had more space over here, I kind of don't. Alright, so I have a large bowl. Alright, here's our Greek yogurt. Here's, ah! It's attacking me. Okay, here's our large bowl. Here's our Greek yogurt. And then these are all our dry ingredients, which I could probably just mix together that way. I am gonna, use the spatula to kind of mix them a little bit. And then I'll get the butter out. Okay, so just kind of, now she says don't mix it too much because you don't want to mess with the gluten in the flour, and this is where, the rubber meets the road, so to speak, because I have flour that's gluten-free. So, fingers crossed this works. Otherwise, we will try another tactic. My brown sugar got a little hard sitting in here with all this other stuff because it got dried out. So, I'm just trying to kind of get it all broken down without messing with the flour too much. I think I'm going to stick my melted butter in the fridge for a few minutes while I mix the I thought there was a piece of paper from the wrapper on it. Well, I mix the Greek yogurt in and see if that helps smooth out my dried ingredient mixture. Does it say to add them both at the same time? I'm not really worried about mixing. I probably should be though, huh? Yeah. Alright. So I got that kind of mixed. And while the butter is cooling, I can get my I forgot to grab. My dog is sitting over here with his face on a chair, looking out the window at the snow that confuses him ever so much. I'm not sure how he likes it because his feet get so cold so fast, and I know that's not anything, abnormal or whatever. Okay, so I'm just mixing the sugar and the cinnamon, which is why I don't understand why I need to do that immediately, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Okay, I'm just gonna take this flour. You know what? I have my fancy spatula. I gotta figure out a new angle to hold things because You know, I could technically just put the lid on and shake it up, but you know, I gotta feature my spatula. Okay. So I'm going to talk about taking notes and what that means, but I also am going to talk to you about Magnus and I's book. We actually just finished one this morning, and I am going to be talking about the book I picked next. Hi, bud. Can you say hello to everybody? Doo-doo. Okay, so my filling is ready. I am going to put my softened butter in the microwave for literally 10 seconds. Because I'm maybe 7. And I'm literally nervous that I'm going to make it start melting. And I don't think I want that position. Okay, yeah, it just started to melt. Okay, so I'm going to let that kind of re-solidify a little bit. And then I wonder, can I go ahead and mix the icing together while I'm waiting for the butter to get cooled down a little bit? What do you think? This is where I'm also going to add the vanilla, is in the filling. Not in the filling, in the frosting. The icing is what I meant to say. And I've never made, let me wipe off never made Greek yogurt icing before, but if this works out, you know I'll be all over it. This is why I wanted to add the vanilla, because I wasn't using a, flavored yogurt. So, what I'm going to do is, I got these brand new measuring spoons for Christmas. So, this is a teaspoon, and I'm going to add that to my Greek yogurt. Then I'm going to talk to you about the eggnog ice cream and how I just realized just this very minute when I was in the fridge that instead of using just plain Greek yogurt, I had eggnog yogurt that I was going to put in there. Yep, I totally forgot. Oh, does that crush me ever so much? Crushing, can I just tell you? I probably shouldn't use so much vanilla, but I feel like Greek yogurt is such a polarizing, flavor. Whoop. That I think once I add the powdered sugar, I'm glad I did get a round bowl for the dough, because I was saying to myself, it's going to be really hard to stir in a rectangular, and I'm not wrong. And excuse my hat, I chose to go with covering up my head and not dealing with my hair today than not doing it. So, so there we are on that one. Okay. He's got an itch. Alright, I'm going to have all of this made. Oh, and by the way, instead of doing these things by cups, I got a food scale for Christmas as well. So I did all of these by weight, so I'm hoping that helps with the flour department and maybe not necessarily getting the measurements right, because I have had that issue before where it gets compacted and then it's super dense. I think that's what happened with the pound cake, I feel like. So, yeah, that's what I decided to do. And I do feel like it worked out. It was very fast for sure. Because when I measure by measuring cup and cups, oh my gosh. I look at it and I'm like, oh, that could look like 2 1/4, but it also could, if you turn it or shake it or whatever, it could look like 2 1/2, It's very frustrating. So yeah, bing bang boom, and I was done. Even with like the brown sugar, Oh, it was so much easier. Okay, let's see what this tastes like. Definitely gonna need the rest of the powdered sugar. Then this will all be ready to go. I don't think I have to let it cool too much. Does it say completely? I'm looking for it. Allow to cool. It just says allow to cool. Well, it's getting cool in the fridge. It's hanging in the fridge. How y'all doing? Okay, eggnog ice cream. Like I was saying, I really am flustered that I just completely forgot I had eggnog Greek yogurt. I'm definitely going to make it again for sure. And I did a post about each method I used. So, of course, the churned was so creamy. Oh, it was so good. I did all kinds of stuff with it. I put lots of nuts on it. I might even put some maple syrup in here. It just doesn't have a flavor right now. It's just sugar and that's about it. So I'm thinking it needs a flavor, in my opinion anyway. Alright, so I'm done with that. Let's see if the butter's cooled down enough. I don't know why we're so concerned when there's no eggs in it. Unless it just messes with the rise or how it spreads out, But I'm gonna get all this other stuff in here. Eggnog ice cream was delicious. Put a lot of different nuts on it. I ate it with a lot of different cookies. And then initially I had tried the one that was just frozen in the loaf pan. And initially I was like, it's kind of icy in texture. I wasn't happy about that. So I was like, well, it tastes really good. And it had that kind of melt in your mouth factor. I wasn't really sold on making my own ice cream. And then I did the churned one. And oh my gosh. Such a different experience. Now the one thing that I forgot to do with the loaf pan one was allow it to sit out on the counter for a little bit. So the churn one was so small a batch that I literally ate that in one sitting and wanted more, of course. But the next night I tried the loaf one and I left it out on the counter for a good half an hour. And I'll tell you, the texture was so much better. There were still little bits of ice in it, I would say, is what I'd call it. I think I'm going to put this back in here. But overall, it changed the flavor of it for me just a little bit, just enough to make me say, oh yeah, even if I just, hand churned. I don't know how, but I keep getting dog hair in my containers on the counter. Okay. Alright, I don't keep getting dog hair. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the Greek yogurt with the dry ingredients. Because that's what I read. Yeah, I did that. And then I'm adding the yogurt. I'm going to add the yogurt first. If I can get it all out. These rectangle may not be because I can't get my... They work for dry ingredients, but I think I need to use... because I feel like... Even the yogurt was weighed as opposed to... Because, with things like this, it is hard to... truly, just like peanut butter or something sticky, thick like that, it's hard to, I feel like I'm leaving something there, to judge. just how much you have. So I'm going to try and do that more often. I was reading, they say the weight of 1 cup of flour is about 150 grams. So, but this recipe I'm going by today was actually written in both, and she recommended using the weight as opposed to the cups. Alright, so we're getting this all together. And with this, mix all the ingredients until dough starts to come together. Okay. Get this off here. Whoop! I just flipped that right up in the air, didn't I? Okay. But definitely we'll make more ice cream, not just eggnog ice cream, but the simple recipe and just changing the flavor profile would be something, you know. I just want to make sure that at least a little part of each of the dry ingredients has some wet mixed in, you know, because once I dump this out, it's a matter of me kneading it to get all together. If that makes sense. Without overdoing it. I'm seeing if I can get any more. Okay. Out of here. I just don't want to short myself, you know. That's how I feel about ingredients. Okay. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. And now the next thing I'm going to do is probably put you on hold for a minute here as I set up my flour station. So, let me put this off here. Puppy Joe. Sorry, I'm boring your puppy. Alright, so, wow, that flew. That flew everywhere. Alright. You're laying right in the middle of the floor, pal. You didn't have to move. You just, well, I guess you kind of have to move, but not. And when you know, I get yogurt all over the end I'm holding with my hand. Okay. Alright, guys, let me put you on hold for a second here. Alright, guys, so I got it all set up. I'm gonna kind of pour my dough out. And this is where we're gonna kind of work it. I didn't probably mix it as much as she said to in the bowl, because I think I'd rather knead it. Alright, let me roll up my sleeves here. Kind of push it together, right? And then fold it over. Come on! Work it! We're trying to get the dough on camera so you can see it a little better. Let me get the bowl out of the way. Let's see if I can. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just bring it together with my hands, hopefully. A lot of it's sticking to the board, so I don't know if that's just because I'm using a board and not using my counter, or we just don't have enough flour on there. She said lightly, so wonder if I should get my pastry scraper thingy. Let's see if I can get it to come together. Come together. Right now. Place. Come together. Yeah, I'd say I probably could have mixed it a lot better in the pan or bowl, however you want to look at it. You know? Gotten a lot more of these drier pieces to come together. Come on, baby. This is something I was thinking about doing in my mixer, but she said that you didn't need to. And while I'm looking at this now, I kind of probably would have liked to try my, you know, dough hook. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if I can get these. I need my pastry thingy. If I can find it. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. What did I do with that thing? Where did I put ya? Definitely not in there. So it's got to be. Oh, I know where it is. I remember. Come on. Sorry, guys. Here we go. There we go. Got it. Took the brain a second to, you know, register. Okay. Trying to just bring it all together. Okay. I wonder, my other issue, I feel like, is it's still a little dry. So I see where the cracks might come from. Okay. Alright, we might have gotten it in a good place. Hard dough to work with, you know. I'm trying to think. It smells very yogurty. I'm gonna have to. Hi, Baba. Flour up my. You gonna help? You gonna help? My rolling pin. So I think I'm gonna put a little on the board. But come on, you're making it hard for the guys to see what I'm doing. You silly goose. He's almost as tall as the counter. I don't know if you can see him at all. No, he's in a very good spot. So he licks underneath the counter like kabashu constantly. He's a silly goose that way. I'm gonna flour my rolling pin here. I don't know. Do you need flour rolling pin? So far, she said don't make it too thin because that's where the cracks come in, and also when you're trying not to add any more flour to the situation, you know, because I feel like it's a pretty, you know, dry dough. Keep sticking. I'm gonna turn it this way. I don't know, I'm not good with rolling. I find I get easily like flustered. So So I'm trying not to, you know, try not to get flustered. But I see what she's talking about, the kind of wrinkles, you know? Getting wrinkles in the dough a little bit. Kind of like using my hands to press together. Because it does, the oils, I feel like, might be helping out my case a little bit. Okay. Whew. That's all I need, is all the flour to go on the floor. Okay. I need it to be rectangular. So I think I'm going to do kind of like, you know, straighten it out, push it in. Okay. Get in there. Get in there. And we'll do it kind of like, oh, you know what I've seen people do is this thing. Press it with the pastry. Ha ha ha. And then it doesn't stick to my hands. I really do want to work with yeast. I don't know why I find it so intimidating. And I figured if I could find this recipe to be, you know, pretty decent and very healthy, and especially since I'm using a dough or a flour, I should say, that doesn't have, you know, gluten in it, and it works. Yeah, I'm gonna be making these more often. Trying to get that rectangular shape. Maybe trying to fill in instead of trying to roll it so much, because it is pretty sensitive, I would say. Okay, I'm trying to get that plate out at the top a little more. You see where I'm headed with this, right? I hope. All right, what I'm gonna do is finish getting it shaped, and then I'll come right back. You don't have to watch every aspect, right? Alright guys, so I got it pretty rectangular, if you can tell. I don't know, that light's kind of bright. It's on a white piece of, whatever. So, alright, so now we're ready for spreading on the booter, I hope. I hope. Some people I've seen it do with their hands, so I might just do that as well. I'm just afraid. Maybe I'll use it to spread it a little further. It's gonna like rip the dough, you know? And my hands are clean, I promise. Alright. Oh yeah, it's like the perfect consistency, butter-wise anyway, for spreading with your hands. There we go. Now this is the is this the third cup? Quarter cup, softened. The third of the cup was the melted butter in the dough. There we go. Now, I suppose you could find a substitute for butter, but I haven't really found one I wholeheartedly love, so if you got one you love, feel free to, you know. Okay, let's see, now that it's got a little bit of a layer on it, let's get it. Woo! See, that's what I was afraid of, it sticking to the spatula. A couple of the corners are a little thinner than I would like. I guess they're all kind of on the thinner side. So I'm going to give the corners a little bit more love then. There we go. Yep. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Please turn out. So I preheated to 350, and of course you know my 8x8, because I thought I bought an 8x8 at Goodwill. Turns out I bought a 7x7. And so my 8x8 is not in the greatest of shape. So I covered it with foil and then I greased it. I don't want all this butter to be in one spot either. This seems like a lot of butter. Of course, I've never made cinnamon rolls before, so don't come off. Okay, I think we're pretty good there. All right, now we get to sprinkle. Oh, I'm so sorry, pups. We were right there. Oh, butter is so good for your skin. Over there. Oh. That one gives it a minute to come off. Oh, come on. It needs to come off. It's like the water is being repelled by the butter. I'm going to get to talking about what I need to talk about today. I know it doesn't feel like it right this second. But taking notes, you know, I've realized over this time frame of feeling bad for not necessarily doing my journaling, I've realized that I have been in a way that didn't dawn on me until I really sat down and thought about it. I've been taking notes. And while it's not like the permanent journaling that I would like, you know, on paper, it's in my phone. Ways that I was feeling, ideas for stuff, you know, articles, it's the whole gamut. And I said to myself, oh my gosh. Well, needless to say, I was up until 2 a.m. last night. Couldn't sleep, couldn't figure out what to do. So I started writing down, you know, kind of in my journal, but I couldn't get to my journal because it was upstairs and I definitely did not want to wake the dog. I don't know how he sleeps. I don't pay attention, you know. But it would have been like right where he is, so I didn't want to bug him. But I just kept thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that is such a different way of looking at it. And it relieved me a little bit in the sense that I've been writing down, you know, not just necessarily feelings or that kind of stuff, but ideas and emotions and you know, recipes and ideas for shows and things to do for next year and how to improve and things I could do to make it better. And it's more of a business journal, but I think it counts a little bit on the way that I've been thinking, at least. So, have you ever used your phone's note pad, if you will? Think about it, because it's quite the I don't know. It feels like it helped. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this started. I feel like we're gonna crack a little bit in the beginning because we're a little dried out. Come on. Roly poly oly. Roly poly oly. Okay, there we go. Now we need to flip. Ah. Okay. Have we got it? I don't know. We're kind of crackling as we go along here. Just press it back together. Press it together. Come on, stay together, everybody. Stay together. You're not listening to me. So, thoughts? Like, what do you write in your notes section? Do you know? Do you? Should you? I think so. I used to walk, go on my walks, and talk into my note section of my phone. and just talk about, you know, what I was feeling and what I was going through at the time and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Okay, are they going to be beautiful? Probably not. Not the first batch anyway. I would say that it's not really easy to roll because it's definitely drier, I would say, than, oh, come on, I gotta squeeze it together. And I would say my middle is definitely fatter than my ends. Okay. All right. Yeah, I really don't have a lot in the ends. Okay, come on, guys. All right. So, what I would do is squish, squish. Okay, roll it this way. It's just so I can get that seam closed, right? And I'm gonna squish, 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 right? Squish, 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 squish. All right, now I think what I'm gonna do is go like this and cut it. How long is this? So this is 6, 6, and so that's 12, almost 14. So if I did 6, and then another 1, that's about the middle, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can get 6 rolls out of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some are a little bigger than others. What can I tell you? And I would say there's not as much cinnamon in the middle as I would like, but first experiment, right? We'll figure out. I said leave a little space. So I need to do 4 across one way and 3 across another. I'd say I'm not going to have as much space as I think I should. Yeah, they're all different sizes. Oh well. Okay, guys. Well, they're in here. They're in there. Look at them. Aren't they cute? Like I said, I would think I would want more filling, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Then it says, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Place rolls in pan. Got it, got it. Bake 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. Well, in they go. Ouch! I just burnt myself. All right. I'm going to do the timer. I'm going to get cleaned up, and then I'll talk to you a little more. Okay, guys, I'm back. I think they're done. They're a little lighter than the lady's picture, but I think they feel done. They remind me of shortbread cookies, so I'm kind of excited because I love shortbread. I would have liked a little bit more cinnamon sugar in the middle, so I think that would be something I worked on. But I'm going to go ahead and pour. I did add a couple of teaspoons of maple syrup to this, only because I feel like it needed a little something. And I'm also thinking of adding some cinnamon sugar to the frosting on the top. I don't want to cover it too much. I did take them out of the actual pan itself, and so they're just sitting in the aluminum foil, which is one of the reasons why I like doing that. Okay, I am gonna try one. I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to figure out which ones had the least amount of stuff in them, so I could, you know. I feel like this one over here might have been more. And they're gonna just pull apart. Oh, that's nice. It's very flaky. Okay. All right. Here we go. I can't get my mouth around it. I can't even swallow. So moist. It is kind of like a cookie. But I would like, I feel like it's all over my face. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, it's crisper than a normal cinnamon roll. It does have more of like a shortbread texture, but that middle, I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty delicious. I like that it's a little doughy. I'm gonna try a little shimmy shake of. Ooh, that was a lot of shimmy. Okay, here we go. Enjoy my happy eyes. That is so scrummy. I'm gonna drip it down the side so it gets covered by all the. Maybe. And then I'm gonna do a little shimmy shake. I think I would avoid this if I had made, you know, a little bit more cinnamon sugar for the center. I would not be worrying about having more, not worried, but definitely wouldn't be adding more. And I'm gonna dip it because there's some left in here. Yeah. All right, y'all. You definitely need to make these. Now, the other thing I was thinking was doing the like the caramelization on the bottom for like a sticky. Sticky bun. But yeah, I would say what I would change already is the amount of filling, because you have a lot of butter on there, so it wouldn't hurt. But boy, are those good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And let's see if I can hold them up without them falling apart. No! They're in there. It's gonna slide right off. So good, guys. Give them a try. They weren't too daunting. So to finish up, I don't know how much time we have, but where did they're on my head. To finish up, we finished this book. Okay? where they found her. Good ending, a little confusing because they talk about some people without really telling you who they're talking about. Other than that, good ending. Kind of a surprise. I kind of felt like something like that was coming, but I picked the wrong person. And now we have started All Is Not Forgotten. Everything seems picture perfect in the town on Fairview. It says on Fairview, Connecticut, until one night the unthinkable happens. A young woman, Jenny Kramer, is brutally attacked at a local party in the hours immediately thereafter. Jenny is given a controversial drug to medically erase her memory of the violent assault, but in the weeks and months that follow, as she heals from her physical wounds, she wrestles with her raging emotional memory. Jenny's father, Tom, becomes obsessed in his quest for justice, though her mother, Charlotte, struggles to pretend this horrific event did not touch her carefully constructed world. Soon the fault lines within their marriage and their close-knit community emerge from the shadows where they have been hidden for years. Meanwhile, Jenny remains haunted, and there's a sticker on here that I can't get off, and cannot remember, and her attacker is still out there. I'm guessing is what it says. It's by Wendy Walker. We just started today because we finished the other one today, and then I started this one while I was on break, and I got through 12 pages. They start from the point where, well, this is the first little blurb. He followed her through the woods behind the house. The ground there was littered with winter debris, dead leaves, and twigs that have fallen over the past 6 months and decayed beneath a blanket of snow. She may have heard him approach. She may have turned and seen him wearing the black wool mask whose fibers were found beneath her fingernails. As she fell to her knees, what was left of the brittle twigs snapped like old bones and scraped her bare skin. Her face and chest pressed hard into the ground, likely with the outside of his forearm. She would have felt the mist from the sprinklers blowing off the lawn not 20 feet away. Her hair was wet when they found her. So far, already intriguing. And I think I'm just going to finish up with saying, take notes. Take notes. No matter what you're doing or where you're at. If you don't have paper, I don't even know where my phone is, but that gadget has notes on there, or you can download a free app for your notes and just start talking into there. Start thinking about what you really want to say, and if speaking it helps you, which it helps me because I can't write, it's just a good way. And then you just sit down, and if you feel like you need to write it out because you're worried you'll lose it if you lose your phone or what have you, everything is backed up these days, so unless you really want to write it out or you don't want somebody reading it, I think you can even lock them if you don't want people to open them. So I'm just throwing stuff out there. If you guys were having as much trouble as I was and thinking I wasn't getting anywhere, and when I opened my notes, I'm just like, oh, that was from a couple days ago, and this one was from... So I felt more relieved that I was at least acknowledging my existence on those days, for lack of better, I don't know, wording. All right, I think I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you had enjoy this episode. Give these cinnamon rolls a try. Again, I would change a couple things. The inside filler would be thicker. And what was the other thing? I might add cream cheese to the frosting for future. Just because I feel like a lot of times cinnamon rolls have more of a cream cheese based frosting. And I'm not really getting that, and I think that might be why they taste sweeter to me than normal. Because you don't have the sour... I mean, you have the sourness of the yogurt, but it's not as like cultured of flavor as sour cream. Not sour cream. Cream cheese, sorry. All right, with that being said, I just have my last little bit, which is have a good day, go do great things, be your best self, and please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching.